Rito Areclo. Ma'am, we are honored to have you with us today. The virtual floor is now yours.
Okay, so thank you. Am I audible? Good morning, NSTP. No? Since it's already 9 o'clock and I know that you still have class by 10:30, I will try to concise my talk, need to survive. Okay, let's start with our interaction. You can answer on the messages. And of course, you can also comment on the Facebook Live. I will give you a situation like you are walking around campus and suddenly someone collapses in front of you. What will you do first? Yung mga nanditong officers sa Meet, you can utilize the message prompt settings. You are walking around campus and suddenly someone collapses in front of you. What will you do first? Can I read some answers? Let's go to Facebook Live kung may nag-i-interact. Meron ba? Can someone read some? Anybody from the group? What are you going to do? How about the officers here inside the Google Meet?
Ma'am, may nagsabi po, check if they are responsive.
Okay, check. Anybody from the group? What are you going to? Okay, that is a good answer. That is assessment.
Check the person and observe if the person is breathing or not. Sabi pa po sa isang comment.
Okay, so we have okay. Check their pulse and remove any dangerous things. Okay, so that is the situation. Another one is I will make a call for help in order to bring him her to the clinic. Okay, that's a good answer. Another answer is oh, that was given already. Okay. Pwedeng pakisara yung mic kasi nag-echo sa akin. Nag-feedback yung microphone. Officers. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, thank you. Kasi nag-feedback yung sinasabi ko sa akin. I did not know what to Okay, so let's have the meaning of first aid. So first aid refers to medical attention that is usually administered immediately after the injury occurs and the location where it is occurred. It is often consists of one-time short-term treatment and requires little technology or training. To administer first aid can include cleaning minor cuts, scrapes, or scratches. Are you hearing me loud and clear? Yun nasa Google Meet. Okay, thank you sa mga nag-respond. Okay, so that is our the meaning of first aid. Now, why first aid is important to learn? Now, of course, it helps you stay prepared. It doesn't take too long to learn. It looks good, of course, in a resume. No? Okay, so what are we going to do when we're preparing to respond? Of course, we have emergency telephone numbers for your local center. Now, I put here the local number, particularly later on my slide. Okay. So learning first aid is very important because it will help us stay prepared. No? At first, we recognize the signs of someone actually needs help, and second, it prepares to respond when needs matter. It doesn't take long to learn. First aid training can fit into everyone's busy schedule. It only takes a few hours and it can give you the skills and confidence to respond to an emergency, take action in critical situations, and even save a life. It's also good to have required training. No, in the Philippines, the Red Cross particularly gives training for first aid. Okay. How do we prepare to respond? We have emergency telephone numbers, home and office phone numbers for family members. This is very important. Sterilized cloth pads or dressing, adhesive tape, roller triangular bandage, scissors, tweezers, safety pins, cold packs, instant ice packs, disposable non-latex gloves, flashlight, antiseptic wipes or soap, pencil and pad, emergency blanket, eye patches, thermometer, barrier devices, mask or face shield, Red Cross first aid manual. So, we have our go bag, particularly in Pasig, no? Meron ba tayong go bag? Kayo ba meron? No? So, dito nakita natin yung go bag na bigay sa atin ni Mayor Vico. We have the survival tool gear. Hindi ko na siya isa-isahin, no? That's the content. We have the features, first aid kit components, and of course, the information and emergency materials. Lahat nandun na. no, sa ating emergency call bag. Now, the first call for first aid is what we call as check, call, and care. No? Ito yung initial assessment. Okay. What's with check, call, and care? If you encounter an ill or injured person, there are three simple steps that you must take. First is check. No? Initial assessment check. How will you check the person? No? Once you recognize an emergency, you must first check the scene, then check the person. Okay? Before rushing for help, an ill or injured person, stop and take a look at the scene. This will form an initial impression. If the scene is safe for you, then ill or injured person or any bystanders, no, call, then of course give the first aid or care. That's why we call it check, call, and care. Dito on our local settings, we have the main emergency numbers like 911 for National Emergency Hotline, Police, Fire, or Medical Care, 143. We have the Philippine Red Cross for ambulance, blood, and disaster help, 117, no, Philippine National Police. Those are the numbers. 136 for Metro Manila Development Authority or MMDA for road and traffic emergencies. No? Yung ginamit ko kasing reference dito sa aking PowerPoint is on Western-based American reference. Kaya nakalagay is EMS, the same like 911. Okay? Okay, so let's be familiar with AED. Ito kasi is, yun nga, American-based, mababanggit ko mamaya. When we say AED, we call it automated external defibrillator. No? This is available particularly in the US for public and private spaces. I don't know if we have something like this in the Philippines. I'm not informed. This is designed for anyone trained in first aid. Okay? Analyze the heart rhythm and deliver shock if needed. So ito nakikita sa mga public places, particularly like malls, markets. Now on check, call, and care, what happened? How did it happen? Take a note of anything that might reveal the cause of emergency. If the person is unresponsive and there is no witness, check off the scene may offer the only clues of what happened. Use your senses to detect anything out of ordinary, such as broken glass, spilled bottle of medication, or unusual smell or sound. Keep in mind that recognizing act, check, care, call. Okay? Check the person, primary assessment. Now, in checking the person or the victim, A goes for check the airway. No, this is the ABC of first aid. A is airway. First, you have to make sure the person has open airway. The airway is the pathway that connects the mouth and the nose to the lungs. If this is closed or blocked, air cannot get in. No? Perform the head tilt or chin lift. No? You need to lift the head. Chin lift. Place one hand on the person's forehead. You use two fingers under the chin. Gently tilt the head until the chin is pointing upwards. Then B is check breathing. Now B is for breathing. Check the breathing. Someone who can speak or cry is breathing. Check the normal breathing for 5 to 10 seconds. Then you have agonal respiration. A person who is not breathing normally will be occasionally gasping for air. So yung reflex action na binibigay dito is the agonal respiration or unlike normal breathing, it is irregular or sporadic. Okay, a person experiencing agonal respiration is in cardiac arrest or requires immediate assistance. So, as a first aider, of course, first response lang, hindi kayo expert in giving respiration, or TPAR, or even CPR, no? check the circulation also. If breathing is normally more than an occasional gasp, his or her is breathing, heart is beating. Check circulation means quickly looking at the person from head to toe for signs of life-threatening external bleeding. Life-threatening bleeding must be controlled as soon as possible. If unresponsive, troubled breathing, life-threatening breathing are all signs of life-threatening emergency. So initial check of the person reveals of any conditions. You must provide care for condition immediately. Make sure that someone calls 911 right away and obtain the first aid kit if these items are available. No? Okay. So when you call and you identify the person is unresponsive, no, kailangan siyempre yung ma-deliver yung victim right away sa nearest hospital. Put the person in recovery position. The person who is unresponsive or has altered level of responsiveness should not be left in face-up position. No? Airway can become blocked by the person's tongue or person's saliva or bodily fluids. So help protect the airway by rolling the person onto his side. So yung recovery side ng victim is always sideways. Ha? Safest for an ill or injured person to be recovery on recovery position. No? Okay, let's go now to choking. Do you know what is choking? Di choking ah. Now when we say choking, what to look is of course the look of panic with wide eyes, forceful or weak coughing, both hands clutching the throat. So kumbaga is nahirapan huminga because something is blocking off the throat. Now what is the thing to do here when someone is choking? If the person is coughing or can speak, encourage him or her to cough forcefully. Kailangan bumubo siya. Do not interfere. Forceful coughing may be enough to clear the obstruction on its own. So, makakatulong yung pag-ubo. No? Encourage or assist the person to sit upright. Possible as this make coughing easier or more effective. Continue to monitor the person's condition until either obstruction clears itself or the person's condition worsens. It takes really a brave first aider to do this. No? Complete choking happens when the airway is completely blocked. When a person is experiencing complete choking, he or she is unable to breathe, and it is a life-threatening situation. No? Immediate first aid for choking is, of course, possible medical intervention required to remove whatever is blocking the airway. So, ang talagang objective natin dito is maalis yung nakapag-block airway. So, common causes, no? Choking, any medical condition that affects a person's ability to chew or swallow increases his risk of choking. So, can dental problems or poorly fitting dentures can affect ability to chew food properly. So, minsan nagiging cause yun pag tayo ay denture. Common causes of choking includes try to swallow large pieces of food, no? Eating while talking, laughing, walking, or running. So, iwasan ko para at least wala tayong, hindi tayo mapunta sa condition ng choking. Eating too quickly, no? Choking occurs when the airway becomes partially blocked or completely blocked by a foreign object. It can be a food or small toy, no? So, this is prone to children younger than 5 years old have particular high risk of choking. Right? So, because of the airways are about the size of the little finger, lalo sa mga baby, no? Just a finger, yung kanilang pagchuchok. So, ano yung mga signs and symptoms nito? Inability to speak, cough, and breathe, high-pitched squeaking noises, flash red skin, and paler than normal, panic with wide eyes, and one or both hands clutching the throat. So, nahirapan muna. So, ang ginagawang first aid care is to stand behind the person for kneel, significantly taller, dapat mas matangkad, syempre, pwesto sa likod, and wrap one arm diagonally across the person's chest. Bend the person forward at the waist until the upper airway is at least parallel to the ground. With the heel of the free hand, deliver up to 5 firm back blows. No? Yung tinatawag natin na Heimlich maneuver. Okay? So, meron din tayo mga special choking circumstances if the person is larger or pregnant, responsive, choking adult. Okay? So, yan yung mga pwedeng gawin. No? If you cannot reach the far enough a person performing abdominal thrust kasi buntis, ha? You are aiding a woman who is obviously pregnant, alternate between 5 firm back blows and 5 chest thrusts. So dito sa may chest siya, bibigyan ng maneuver. Continue until the object comes out, the person begins to breathe or cough, or the person becomes unresponsive. No? If the child naman is short enough to kneel on the floor, no, knee raise, perform 5 back blows. Katulad nung nasa picture. No? Perform 5 back blows with the child leaning across your raised leg. Okay, so you raise your leg, then push, particularly. When the object comes out, then it's good. No? Now, paano naman kung ikaw yung nag-choke? If you are by yourself and choking, no? Dial emergency numbers like 911. Leave the phone off the hook. This will tell the dispatcher to send help. If there are people nearby, move to a place where you can be noticed. Attempt to dislodge the object by performing an abdominal thrust. So get a chair. No? Mag-bend kayo, mag-hip hinge kayo doon sa chair. If in case you are choking alone or you're just by yourself. Okay? Next is first aid for wound, bleeding, and bandaging techniques. Okay, so yung life-threatening bleeding refers to a situation where large amount blood loss occur either externally or outside the body or internally. So this is life-threatening. Yung bleeding from arteries, arterial bleeding is often rapid and profuse, and it is always life-threatening. This is because arterial blood is under direct pressure from the heart. So it is usually spurts from the wound, making it difficult for clots to form. As a result, arterial bleeding is harder to control than bleeding from veins and capillaries. Now, how will you prevent bleeding? No? The following are precautions to reduce likelihood of an injury that causes life-threatening bleeding. First, be familiar with your surroundings. Keep all sharp objects such as knives in a safe place. Get proper training on machinery in the workplace. Allows follow and outline safety procedures when operating equipment. Wear and use appropriate safety equipment at work at home. Only use equipment for its intended purpose. Stay alert when operating equipment. So, yung mga life-threatening bleeding, lalo na dun sa mga nag-work sa industries like construction, no? Lagi tayong ino-observe natin yung safety first. Now, external bleeding, what to look for kung meron na. Signs and symptoms of life-threatening external bleeding. Blood spurting or flowing freely from a wound. No? Masyado yun talagang pag-agos ng dugo. Blood that fails to clot after you have taken all the measures to control bleeding. Ginawan mo na ng bandage and all, still doesn't stop bleeding. So, this will result to large amount of blood loss. Okay? So, ano yung mga ginagawang first aid care dyan? Call again the emergency numbers 911. Okay? Kasi pagka ganito, very critical yung situation pagka mga bleeding ang problema. So how to care? Expose the wound, applying firmly and direct pressure to the wound. This is first aid. Maintaining direct pressure, apply dressing or bandage. Secure them in a place. Reassess the wound to see if the pressure has stopped in the bleeding. If not, consider using a tourniquet if the wound is on the limb. You know what is a tourniquet? Hello. I'll show you how to use the tourniquet. Are you still with me? Okay, this is the video.
This could save a life. People can be a little bit intimidated as far as using these tourniquets. They are not difficult to use. They are simple to use, and I'm going to show you how it's done. A tourniquet is used when we have a life-threatening, uncontrollable bleed. This is used on our extremities, limbs, arms, and legs as well. All right, coming in, just feeding it under the leg. We want the tourniquet to be 5 to 7 centimetres above the wounded area. So let's say the wound is here. We're coming in at about this distance. We're going to pull it as tight as we can pull it. Once we've done that, we start twisting, and we twist and go as tight as we can until there is no bright red blood flow or blood flow coming out of the wounded area. We clip it in and bring the triangle over and lock it in place. From there, we can record the time. We do not take the tourniquet off until emergency services have arrived. This is a short-term solution. We need to ring 000. We need the ambulance on its way ASAP. Remember, it's better to use a tourniquet than nothing at all.
And life-saving first aid is all about action.
This is a tourniquet, and this could save a life. People can be a little bit intimidated.
Okay, so that's is the procedure on how to use the tourniquet. Let's continue with our presentation. So we're done with the tourniquet. You have seen it already on videos. Let's have the bandaging techniques. No? When we say bandaging, of course, kailangan meron tayong dressings o yung ipanpapaloob natin sa loob ng bandage particularly. Use clean, preferable sterile dressings. Check circulation below the injury before after applying the bandage. Now, we need to use a triangular bandage. These are useful for your first aid kit because they can be used both to make slings and make broad bandages to hold pins in place. So, this is how you use it, no? Yung pwede nating ilagay sa loob ng bandage, we had adhesive dressings, we have gauze, no? Do we know the difference between adhesive and gauze dressings already? Okay. Okay, kung gagamit tayo ng triangular, bandage has three major types of bandages. We have the roller, tubular, and triangular. Tatlong klase, no? So these are necessary to cover wounds, apply pressure, control bleeding, and support strain or sprain. So ito yung tinatawag nating roller bandage, no? Ginagamit natin to support strain, sprain. Okay? Ngayon, meron dalawang klase ng pagpo-fold. Depende sa tatakpang bahagi ng sa katawan. We have the cravat fold. No? Yung triangular bandage natin should be made of cotton or disposable paper. They have a variety of uses. When you open up, they make sling support, elevate, or immobilize upper limbs. This may be necessary with broken bone or strain. Protect a limb after an operation. So, ganito yung cravat. No? You need to fold it pag sa cravat. Okay? Folded narrowly, the triangular bandage becomes cold compress that can reduce swelling. They are used also for applying pressure to a wound or controlled bleeding. So you need to fold it like first fold, second fold, nagiging broad bandage sa, then nagiging narrow. Okay? Now, sa open face naman, ginagamit natin yung kabuuan ng triangular bandage. Sa kamay, sa head, no? Now, kailangan dito, you should do it like neatly. Ha? Pag sinabing neatly, not too tight, not too loose, maayos ang pagkakalagay, hindi lukot-lukot, no? Tapos, you always end up the knot with a square knot. Alam ba natin yung square knot? No? Tinuturo sa Girl Scout, Boy Scout yung square knot. Kasi pag square knot, madali din siyang matatanggal o maalis. Pero tight siya. No? So, tatlong klase niya yung bandaging. Ulitin ko, you have the roller bandage, triangular, and of course, open face and sabat face. Now, yung pagsasagawa nito or practicum, this should be done like face-to-face. Kaysa yung ganito na dinidiscuss ko, mas maganda application. No? May dalang triangular bandage and by pair, gagawin ninyo. Or pwede nyong i-video. No? Okay? Let's go now to burns. Ang burns are soft tissue issues, injuries caused by chemicals, electricity, heat, or radiation. Now, there are different methods to prevent different types of burns. How do you care for them? No? Now, will the care for all burns is similar? Care steps can be varied depending on the cause of the burn. Care should be taken to monitor for hyperthermia, then large burns. This is particularly important in children. Cover the person with a blanket if the person complains or feeling cold. No? Pag nagkaano ng hyperthermia. Thermal burns are caused by heat, hot liquid, steam, or open flames. Care that is required varies from thickness of the burn, so you should determine burn seriousness before beginning to provide care. So look for redness, pain, possible swelling. Okay? You need to cool the affected area with clean running or standing water for at least 10 minutes. Pag napaso, pag nasunog, napaso, at least 10 minutes. Clean, cool, or cold but not freezing. Compress can be used as a substitute. Burns may be difficult for a person to breathe. Depende sa laki ng burn or situation. Person is a great deal of pain, becomes unresponsive. Burns were caused by chemicals, explosions, or electricity. Burns involve a large amount of blistering or broken skin. Burns cover the face, neck, hands, genitals, or larger surface area. Okay? So that is our care for burn. Let's go now to bone, muscle, and joint injuries. No? Pagka nagkaroon ng arm injury, ang ginagamit is a regular sling. Okay? So, ito yung pictures ng ating regular sling for arm injury. Pwedeng gamitin yung triangular bandage, open face, you make an arm sling. Okay? This is how you do it. No? Tie the bandage toward the side of the neck, not the back, to reduce discomfort. Twisting, tying, and pinning the corner of the bandage by a binder. No? So, kailangan yung pinaka-apex ng triangle is nandito sa may siko. The base should be on the arm. So, para pag nakita yan, ganito. Katulad nung kanina sa this one. No? Ayan, yung gamit ng arm sling. Okay. Kung alam nyo naman kung ano yung tube sling, okay, pakikita ko through a video kung paano yung ginagamit yung tube sling. Okay? I'll be sharing the video.
Edge towards the injured joint of the arm. So can you hold this together on the hand, please? I'm going to ask the person to help me out with holding the bandage, and all you're going to do is just hold the bandage over here across the elbow and then keep twisting rest of the bandage so that we have a grip over the elbow, and it's going to help us to immobilize the arm. So after twisting all the way up to the end, what we're going to do is we are going to tie both the ends up here at the back together, and with the help of tube slings, just within few seconds, we help the person out in immobilizing their shoulder injury. If you like the tip, follow us for more techniques to learn how to help people out with joint injuries. Thank you.
Okay, nakita ba kung paano gamitin ang tube sling? Thank you. Konti na lang to. Masyado mahaba kasi ang scope ng ating tube sling. Okay, so yun yung tinatawag na tube sling. Yun ang kaibahan nun sa triangular bandage. Okay, so parang nakuha ko lang ng 40 minutes. To finish up, let us correct some common misconceptions about first aid. Let's say the first misconception. If you are using toothpaste on a burn, no? Ginagamit nyo ba ang toothpaste sa burn? No. Okay. So, hindi dapat. So, dapat clean running water. No? Depende sa ano yan, sa laki ng burn. It's like high degree burn, no? Put ice directly on a burn. Kailangan ba dapat lagyan ng yelo yung burn? No. Ha? Huwag nating ilalagay. Huwag nating ipapractice yan. How about this one? Give water to an unconscious person. Hindi din. Yes, that will add up. Ha? As a first aider, dapat alam natin to. Kung ang responsive, ang ano talaga natin is ma-deliver siya sa hospital. Okay? Next, move an injured person immediately. Is it correct? No, you should not move the injured person immediately. The more that you need to give an extra care para hindi madagdagan ang injuries. Okay. And lastly, a first aider should always give medicine. Tama ba? Okay. So, you know already, hindi tayo nagbibigay. Only doctor. Pag nga na-turnover natin ang victim, sa hospital sila na yon. Even if the doctor arrives, doon natatapos ang care na binibigay ng first aider. No? Tayo lang yung nagiging bridge para safely mabigyan siya ng tulong. No? Hindi tayo mas magaling sa doktor. Of course, doktor yun. Okay? Now, one thing for all of you, always think of your own safety also before helping others. No? As NSP students, being a first aider doesn't mean rushing into a dangerous situation. Oh, first aider ako. I can give everything and help, no? Always think of your safety also. Assess the scene, protect yourself for appropriate help, and then assist within your level of training. No? Do you understand? Kasi kailangan at least license ka eh. Hindi ko mo, baka sabihin nyo, umattend ka ng NSPTP seminar, first aider ka na, no. Being a first aider, kailangan may license ka. May official training ka sa lahat ng basic skills ay binibigay and knowledge for first aid. Okay? So, to end up my talk, no, why is first aid an important skill for an NSPP student? Why do you think na bakit kailangan natin ang skill ng first aid bilang isang NSPP student? Please write your answers sa messages or comment your answers. Why is first aid important skill for an NSPP student? Why do you think? Kailangan importante? Anyone? Hello, are you still with me? Bakit sa tingin nyo importante ang skill ng first aid bilang NSTP student? That we need really to go training. I need answers. Because we have an answer here from Talentino. Because no one knows when and where an emergency happen. Yes. Even right on your very own home. How will you act? Diba? If particularly your family is at stake. It allows us to provide immediate assistance. Very good. To injured or sick people while waiting for professional medical help. That's true. No? We have answers from Tiffany. Wants to know po what to do first thing to do habang wala pa po ang ambulance. Yes, that's right. Kaya nga tayo nagbibigay ng first aid. So thank you for your answers and your interaction. No? Yung last part ng our demonstration or hands-on practice. Before kasi nung inano namin to sa is tayo face to face eh. But I hope you get something from me, no? First aid. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Have a good day and nice day ahead.
Ayan. Thank you very much, Professor Maria Charito Areglo, for taking the time to teach us these important first aid principles and for sharing your expertise with us.
We learned the importance of remaining calm, assessing the situation properly, and giving appropriate initial assistance while waiting for professional medical help.
More than simply learning first aid procedures, today's discussion also reminded us of the importance of being prepared. As students, we may encounter emergencies in school, at home, or in our communities. Having even basic knowledge can help us respond more confidently and responsibly when someone needs assistance.
We hope that the lessons shared today will stay with us and become practical knowledge that we can use when the need arises.
Once again, Ma'am Maria Charito Areglo, thank you for sharing your time, expertise, and valuable lesson with us today. Let us give our speaker the appreciation she deserves. Everyone, please fill the comment section with clap hands and give her a warm virtual round of applause. Maraming salamat po, ma'am.
Thank you so much po sa both of our speakers for today. And now, for the next part of our seminar, it's your turn to ask our dear participants.
If you have any questions or clarifications about today's topic, feel free to comment them in the Facebook Live comment section. For our class representatives on Google Meet, you may send your question through the chat box, whether it's about the digital citizenship and media literacy topic or the basic first aid topic. Feel free to ask, guys. Walang maling tanong, and this is our opportunity to hear directly from our resource speakers the answers that we actually need, and we'll give everyone a few minutes to send your questions, and we'll be selecting some of them for the answer to be answered live by our speakers.
We are just going to select some questions, guys.
So yeah, meron ng tanong here in Facebook. If I don't have a tourniquet and may nangyaring life-threatening external bleeding, ano ang pwedeng gamitin and ano ang gagawin? This is about the first aid topic.
Okay, so if you don't have a tourniquet and talagang yung bleeding, all you need to do is to put some pressure points na maglagay ng bandage or dressing, no, to control bleeding. Pero you really need to act right away, no? And make sure yung ilalagay yung dressing, kahit panyo yan, info should be sterilized or malinis. Just to cover it up. Then rush to the hospital right away.
Thank you,
Okay?
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. There's a question about the media literacy speaker. Which signs suggest an account is a coordinated trolls rather than a genuine user? And what tools or platforms do trolls use to scale up fake accounts, click farms, bot networks?
I agree that trolls abound. You can check their posts, the number of friends that they have, and the kind of messages that they share. Because as Christian Isguera pointed out, some actions online are coordinated. Kung pare-pareho minsan yung mga messages nila, ako tinitingnan ko kagad eh. Okay. Pag nakita ko na to dito sa page na to, tapos nakita ko pa rin siya sa ganun, ano na to, troll na to. Then, I also check the profile. If there are only a few friends, then we have reasons to doubt the identity of the person. And there is no basis. I would like to emphasize that it's important that we check multiple sources. If the information that they share is valid, even if they only have few friends, I really don't mind. But whenever I find out that the messages that they share only deceive people, kahit na marami pa yung friends, I do not entertain and I discourage my students and my fellow netizens from sharing, reacting, and checking the account because we cannot allow them to use Facebook as a venue for the spread of fake news. Let us not be an instrument to that unscrupulous action. Thank you so much.
Since we're already on this topic na rin naman po, extension question na rin po, follow-up question, kung paano daw natin may improve yung media literacy sa era na ganito na yung AI usage has been rampant daw po.
It's important that we provide the context. Kasi you would know if the students or the netizens are just using AI, what context is provided by this? Is this an edited photo? Because there are deep fake photos, di ba? And then in my presentation, I included the sites that you can use to verify. If you would like to know if the images are deep fake photos, you can use a Google search, tapos may TinEye, and there are also other applications. What I presented earlier are sites that I recommend which would tell you if those photos have been edited. Everything online can now be verified because of the applications, but we just have to be patient. Ang problema kasi sa atin, wala tayong tiyaga eh. But there are many applications online that will help us determine if these are deepfake photos or these are pieces of information that are not verified. You can check, aside from the sites that I have presented, there are also other available sites. There's nothing wrong if we are going to consult all the sources of information that are available. Thank you.
Thank you po, ma'am. Also, there's a question here po about who should have the greater responsibility for misinformation po, the person who creates it, the platform that spreads it, or the users who shares it daw po.
Okay. This is the problem in the Philippines. We play the blaming game. We cannot hold other people responsible all the time. It's a personal responsibility. All of them are responsible. Social media platforms, people, because these pages, the social media platforms, they cannot monitor what the netizens share all the time. What happened to Ateneo de Zamboanga? It took them how many hours before